Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Say good morning. We had some mishaps. Oh, Lisa, sound good. Good. Good morning, Christina. Yeah, we had mishaps last week. I sorry about that. Like my camera just like went. I don't know why, but it did. It just went. So we got a new camera in here, and we are back. Thank goodness we are back. So we're just gonna continue where we left off. So if you're here, say good morning. Let me know if it's your first time. This is, of course, this part of Tuesday is Molly's Moments with Jesus, just devotional, how things have helped me, kind of sharing my journey with you. Hi, Lisa. Trying to share my journey with you because I don't believe that I'm the only one who goes through the struggles that I go through. And you don't need to think that you are the only one, too, that, boy, this light's bright, that you are the only one, too, that's going through what you're going through all morning. Oh, Christina, you've never been on this with me. Well, there we go, girl. Welcome, welcome. We got another newbie to it. Yay. So this is a good thing. Um, this is just one of those things where, okay, hold on one second. Before I get in, let me finish sharing this. I have a few places that I share this. My team and my VIP group. Yup. Yup, yup. Okay. Up, my buddy Marianne Penn. I saw her. She just came on. Yep. I saw her name. I saw her name. Hi, Marianne. um, Lee and I just got back from Maryland. We had gosh, it was such a quick trip. We had a wedding that we had to attend for my nephew. And I don't, and that's a wrong word. It's not a wedding we had to attend. We were lucky enough to get an invite to it. And, this young man and his new bride, they are amazing. They're just amazing people. Watching Benji grow up. I can't believe I still call him Benji. He's like a grown adult now, Molly, but I can't help it. It's what I call him. And his beautiful bride, Colleen, who is just the sweetest thing ever. And, getting together with family and my sons and my grandkids and just being able to spend some time. That was great. I've gotten to where I appreciate the short trips because sometimes that's all we get. So you got to learn to be grateful for, what you have in the moment. Sometimes all we do is we look for what else we could have. We look for what else we could want. We want it to be longer. We want it to be better. We don't understand why the struggle is so real. And I'm here to tell you, good morning, Donna. I am here to tell you that life is always going to be full of struggles. And being 60 years old now, I have realized that the growth, whether we like it or not, the growth is in the struggle. It's in the struggle, 100%. Hi, Brenda. How are you? 100% in the struggle. Everybody, I know you think you'll feel better sitting in that little bubble where nothing happens, but the truth of the matter is it's not. That's boring. That's not where you learn to be stronger. It's not where you learn to be more courageous. It's not where you learn to be better, to be able to stand up for yourself, maybe. So if you're like, oh my goodness, one more thing, and you know why I can say that? Because I say that all the time. Oh, Lee, how are we gonna? I can't believe we have this to deal with too, and then we get through it. And then we start grabbing at what made us stronger and how we got through it. Yes, Lee's owner, Lee said we met Aunt's new girlfriend. Yes, we did. Anthony had started dating a young lady seemed to be really smitten with her, and we got the opportunity to meet her on Sunday, and she is just delightful. Delightful. And can I tell you that there is nothing better in life than, no matter how many bad eggs that you have to go through, to finally see your kids um, get with people, find their people who make them happy. You know what I mean? I watched that. My oldest son Earl went through a not a happy marriage, and he got divorced, and of course, but we have Skylar for it, so we're so grateful. And then and things just didn't work for them. It's just how it was. And then, of course, he met Jess, and now they have Camden. And Skylar is such a wonderful, wonderful big sister. And watching them, but watching Earl grow. And, I was talking to him Sunday night before we went to bed. We kind of had some time together. And, I told him, I said, never regret like the bad marriages, never regret, because what you get when you come through it. I said, do you know why you're a better husband? Because of what you went through in the first marriage, good, bad, or indifferent. And I said, we were actually at the same table with his dad. And we are at a place where we are good, his father and I have to tell you that every time, they say, well, Mom, you're with Lee now and you're so happy. I said, you know what I learned? I learned so much about me during that first marriage. It makes me a better wife for Lee. It makes me appreciate things maybe I didn't appreciate with the first marriage. It showed me what to look for. And I also have two wonderful boys. And how do you ever regret that? And without the marriage to him, I wouldn't have them. So life is a journey. Life is a journey. But through it all, there is this thing that we're talking about today, which is self-control. And Sue Ann, hey, how are you, girl? No, I don't have much self-control. Working on it, girl. I hear you. And by the way, realize this can be used like business, life, your job, your side hustle, people in general, just communication, driving on the road. Can I tell you? Self-control can be difficult, especially in the moments that it just comes on you. Somebody says something, you think somebody says something, you get your feelings butt hurt, and immediately you know how it is, and you just have created this diatribe of things that probably isn't really how you think it is, but it's your lack of self-control. It's your lack of where you went with something. For me, it is, have you ever, and let me tell you the best place to get that, Texas. Let me tell you something. Not Texas, the state. Texas on your phone when you text. Texting is probably one of the worst places to assume. Hi, Steph. How are you? Hi, Paula. Good morning. Hi, Rebecca. Good morning. Texting. Never have serious conversations in texting, especially if you're trying to get your point across. Because texting, I believe, sometimes is of the devil to create problems. And all of a sudden, you don't have no self-control. You just know what that person meant. You just know how that person came across. Why was their answer so short? And again, I'm going to tell you. Do you know why I am telling you this? Because I've been there. On both sides of that coin, not just one. I have been the person who is being that people are assuming about, but I've also been the assumer. Okay, that's just what happens. And do you know what I realized? Yeah, Diane, isn't it the truth? Good morning, Carrie. Good to see you, my friend. Diane's right. Texting could get you in trouble. It does. I have for the last couple of years, I have made it my goal to say if it is a serious enough conversation that you want to make sure people get what you're saying, I say, when do you have time to pick up the phone? Do you have time to FaceTime? Do you know why? Because God gave us all these emotions. Have you ever thought about that? He's given us all these emotions, which then lead to reactions. And whatever mood you're in at the time when you're getting that text, whatever mood you're in is going to dictate how you read that text. Hi, Kelly. How are you, friend? And I am the person. I can be reading the text and I can say to Lee, I'm gonna read this to you. What do you think like they got an attitude? What's going on? Why they got an attitude? That's an attitude. But here's the deal. It's how you are reading it, not necessarily how they're sending it, y'all. I mean, even if, let me talk to my Avon family. Like if you're sending a text to a team member or a customer or whatever, and they could be in the you're like, hey, can I get you anything? They said, nope, nothing. Nope, nothing. But at the end, they want to make sure they answer you. But they could be, you're taking it as no, nothing. But they could be saying, no, nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the attitude behind it? It could be a good attitude, but according to the day that you're having, you could be taking it like a bad attitude. Okay, Christina, come back and watch the replay, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Hi, Heather. Good morning. I am so freaking guilty of that. Like, or like, you're like, is everything okay? Did I offend you? I didn't mean to bother you. Maybe that's not how it is at all. If you know that you haven't, mwah, Christina, if you know you haven't, why you let your brain, why you let whatever mood you're in at that time dictate what the text says? Do you know what that takes? It takes self-control. It does. It takes self-control. And I have to tell you, when me and God are talking, one of the things I have realized that I'm like, you know what, God, help me realize that I need some self-control in this. Now, sometimes that can be self-control in driving too, okay? Because I realize I am on the road a lot between Avon, between going back and forth to seeing my kids, or going up to West Virginia to see Lee's family, or on the road door dashing, whatever that is, right? And North Kakalaki is like one of the nicest places I've ever been, and we've chosen to live here, right? But we do have northerners, and look, I was a northerner. Not everybody is rude that comes down here, but sometimes you do. And Lee always says, oh, we know who the visiting clientele is. These people cutting each other off, flipping each other off, wailing on the horn. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Next thing you know, it's me. And I'm like, I need to practice self-control and say, you know what, Molly? Not everybody's going to respond the way that you respond. Not everybody's going to think how you think. Not everybody's going to perform how you perform. So practice the self-control in everything. Carolyn, I am good. Thank you for asking. I am good. I hope you're well too. Good morning, Paula. Good to see you. So this is one of the things that I have for you. Look, I want to read a couple of verses to you first. I just want to start with the verses so you know where I'm coming from. Because when I'm saying God says, I want you guys to know where to go and look at this. So get your pen and paper out, or get your notes out on your phone and write this down. The first one is this. And remember, we're talking self-control. Isaiah 55:10 and 11. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. Here's another one I found. Proverbs 25:28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit, self control. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls, unprotected, off the chart, off the hook. Think about it. Galatians 5:22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Oh, you knew it was coming, right? Self-control. Against such things there is no law. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kind, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Oh, Jesus, why did you throw that in there, right? Because sometimes you just fly off the seat of your pants, right? You just know how somebody is. Somebody makes your blood boil. And look, there are those people. It's not all about you, Cupcake. Believe me, there are people out there who can make your blood boil. Here's another one. 1 Peter 4:7. The end of all things is near. Therefore, be alert and of sober mind so that you may pray. I'm a firm believer that we are in the last days here. And people have been saying that their whole lives. But if you can't see what's going on in Israel and the fact that people just make everything okay, it doesn't matter what it is. People, they're trying to legitimize child pornography. We have child trafficking going on, and I am such an advocate against those things. But the end of all things is near. Therefore, be alert and of a sober mind so that you may pray, because you need self-control. You need to have control over yourself. And sometimes that's harder than anything else, is to have that self-control so that you can operate. Lisa says, I'm North Carolina born and bred. And I said, bless your heart, to a person from Maine. She said I offended her. Do you know why, Lisa? Because everybody knows most of the time, like, what we saying really when we say that, okay? Bless your heart, That's the first thing they tried to teach me down here when I came down here. Can I tell you? It's the first thing they tried to teach me. It just makes me laugh. Like, Molly, rather than going off on somebody, you just look at them and you say, bless your heart. And it does sound better. It does sound better. But by the way, the people in Maine, they offend a lot easier. They're Northerners, okay? I know, because I was a Northerner. They just do. I don't get it. That's why I came south. I'm just not offended. Lisa, that's how it is. Don't worry about her. She'll get over it. It's all good. I just believe that there is such a need for self-control. And guys, look, especially when things aren't going in your favor, especially like it's hard when business isn't going good or not like you would like it, or you feel like you're not heard. It's hard. Practice self-control. When your relationship with your husband or significant other isn't going well, and you just want to fly off and things are not good and you're out of sync, practice self-control. They are the ideal times to practice self-control. When your kids are driving you to the brink of craziness, I know. And by the way, for all you mamas who got little ones, even when they're 30 and 37, let me be clear. You still need to practice self-control, even when they're older. Hi, Miss Sandra. I just saw you pop on here. Everything requires it. When the person at the drive-thru, when you're going through and their thing is what you want. What you want. Not, hey, you realize, not every store is chicken leg. That's what my granddaughter called it, so I still call it that, chicken leg. Chicken, not Chick-fil-A, chicken leg. Not everybody is, how can I help you? And my pleasure. But do you know what that makes you practice? Self-control. Going off as much as you would like to never brings a good result. I told many of the people who are in my group, especially my Onward No Matter What group, when I first opened that group, which was many years ago, and long before me and Jesus got reacquainted, okay? When people would come in there and would just go off on their rant. Let me tell you, what would happen is nobody could rant back and put them in their place like me. But I would let myself get so worked up and angry at what they were bringing in this group that I had established for a safe net. You know what I'm saying? For a safe place for representatives to come and be able to share and be able to get good information that I would come off and go, look here, you don't like this? I can put you on the curb right now. You'll never be able to find onward again. Don't start with me. And look, everybody got a laugh at that, and that's all great. And yes, poof, you got poofed by me. But what happened is I started realizing, what is that teaching them, Molly? What is that really teaching them, to just go at it, to just go at them and come at them hard? It didn't. What I needed to do was try to practice more love and explanation and self-control. And I'm not telling you that sometimes in life that you don't have to take the step forward and be. I've still gotten rid of people in Onward. Believe me, they just don't want to learn. They just want to come in and dictate. They just want to do some of the things that I was doing, and I could not see it in myself. See, when you have to look in that mirror, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Gwenda, good to see you, my friend. When you have to look in that mirror and say, if this is going on, how do I help? What part in this do I play? Does that make sense? Have you ever really stopped in a moment and said, what part in this do I play? Am I trying to dictate everything? Am I trying to tell somebody how to live? Am I trying to tell somebody how it's going to be? Am I yelling? Am I stomping? Am I pouting? Am I doing the whole toddler thing? What am I doing? What is my reaction? And yes, God gave us these reactions. No. It's not that He gave us the reaction. He gave us the ability and the choice to control those reactions, to decide how we were going to react, to figure out how we were going to react to that customer, to figure out how we were going to take that deep breath, count to 5, and figure out what is going on with that team member, what is going on with that family member, what is going on with that person at work, that how are we going to play into helping the situation get better or to be more tolerated? Or are we just going to be part of the chaos and not show that there can be self-control? It's huge. It's huge. Have you ever been in a discussion with a loved one, with somebody at work? Look, and I mean, everything was fine. Conversation was fine. And then all of a sudden, your blood pressure skyrockets. Your nerves are like on edge. They have hit the button. And oh my goodness, Rebecca came on and said, "You're speaking truth. I have a 34." Hold on, where'd she say it? She says, I have a 34, 24, 22-year-old. They definitely can still push buttons. Absolutely. And 7 grandkids too. Absolutely. I agree with you. Rebecca, thanks for stopping by. I hope you catch the replay. And the worst version of you begs to come out. Like, you're feeling all this, right? You're feeling all this. And the worst part of you, you feel it. Man, you didn't even think you had any of that nastiness left in you. Some of you thought you did. That nastiness didn't even exist. I mean, and all of a sudden, it comes barreling out like something you ain't felt in a long time. And you have a choice. You can let it come out, or you can sit here and lie about it and go, oh, no, Molly, that's never happened to me. Molly, that has never happened to me. Don't lie. Don't you lie to me, because I'm sitting here being honest with you. You know you have been there. And then when you go talk to that next person about it, your person, you're like, I'm going to tell you, if I wasn't the Christian I am, if I wasn't the person I am, I would have just slapped her silly. I would have picked her up by her scrawny little neck. I would have kicked her tail when she turned around. I was going to lay her out. You know, you got the Doesn't mean you react on them, but that's what happens. Gwenda, I get it. My sons are 30 and 37. Lee says, I can be the most loving or the most heartless person. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And I have been there to witness it. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to tell you it's happened to me. And by the way, I live with other humans, like many of you. But what I'm trying to better understand is this whole concept of self control. And I want to help you understand it with me. I already read the verses to you. And we are told in the Bible over and over again, God tells us practice self control. Practice self control. Practice self control. And by the way, self control is all in there with that be loving and sharing and be the better person. It's all in there, and self control is in there too. It's hard to display self control when it feels like something that somebody else is doing is out of our control. You know, it like yanks. Hi, Jess, my beautiful daughter-in-law is on here. How are you, girlfriend? Good to see you. How my Cam? I miss my Cam. Oh my gosh. Let me take a break just for a minute. When I'm staying with the kids, my room is downstairs. Our room is, and every morning I specifically would get up earlier than maybe normal, because I could hear him upstairs in his little play area. And I would get up and I'd come up the stairs and I'd round that corner and be looking through, and he could always sense, I guess he could hear the stairs too, that somebody was coming up, and he would turn around and he would look, and that big old grin would come up, and he's like, yeah, okay, I see you. He has just got a smile that can melt. There is something about babies, but this kid, I'm telling you, he is so precious, so amazing, so God sent, and he brings so much joy into so many people's lives. And I see when he's around, I see the best come out in people like my granddaughter Skylar, to watch her, which is his sissy, you know, just embrace him with such love. And she is very patient with him, yet not so patient with her dad, not so patient with Jess, right? Probably not so patient with her mother, but with that little boy, it's just something. So see, self-control can come at all ages. But honestly, have you ever had somebody who you just feel like they're in such a bad place? They just yank on your emotions. They grind your last nerve. And you're like, how in the world am I going to have any self-control with this? Hi, Stacy. Good morning. Hi, Quentin. I see you. So let me give you a little help on what I'm learning. When someone else's actions or statements threaten to pull me into, hey, hold on. Everybody hold the court right here. Mr. Scott Kramer, we don't talk as much as we used to, but Scott Kramer, I need you to know nothing's changed. I love you, mister, and congratulations on the new move in that beautiful mountain scene you get all the time. Scott Kramer, if you don't know about social media, him and the brains, let me tell you something. This man taught me so much, and continues to, because I still get all his emails. I still put what he gives us into practice. Even though he is not directly in use by Avon, you know what's really great? We are still family, still learning together, and still getting things right on the social media forefront. He keeps me in tune with all my social medias, what I need to look for, what's coming. And Scott Kramer, I will forever be grateful for you, my friend. So thank you for being with us. And there's many of us on here today who know exactly how wonderful this man and his crew is. Him, Angel, all the rest, we just love them. So mwah, love you, my friend. Okay, let's get back to this. You have a choice, and I know you don't want to believe this, but you have a choice. Somebody else's actions or statements threaten to put you in a bad place. I get it, but I'm here to tell you, you still have a choice. You have a choice how you're going to react. Maybe somebody is coming after you because of the way you're raising your kid. Maybe somebody's coming after you because of the way that you're running your business. Maybe somebody's coming after you because of how you handle your marriage. Maybe they don't like the way you walk. You know how that rolls. People will find something to be unhappy with you about. You know what I'm saying? But here's the deal. I'm not going to let you off the hook. And by the way, neither is God. Your reaction is what is most important. And you are the only one that has complete control over that. You have a choice. It may feel like you need to react to what you're feeling, that you need to come at them, that you're like, well, I can give it. You think you're this? I can give it back to you twice as bad. Let me tell you something. You know how you used to always hear your mama say, two wrong, don't make a right, Molly. You just because if they jump off a bridge, you gonna go jump off a bridge? Probably, Mom. Probably. I can remember saying that one time, and I think I got put on restriction if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, getting on with this, your reaction can change the whole narrative. You're reacting to what they've done, what they've said. Self-control, y'all. Self-control. In a New York minute, just like that, you can let somebody own you, control you, get you to come down on their level. Is that showing them anything? Let me tell you what happened when I started changing how I reacted in the group. There were some people who came in there and absolutely for different things came after me. This thing I'm doing right here, doing this devotional every Tuesday and sharing it in my groups and all my different platforms that I have. People were coming after me saying, I can't believe you're coming in here and you're talking about this and that and talking about Jesus and you're talking about God. I didn't come in here for it. I need you to know, here's the truth. My first reaction was, you don't like it? Why don't you take your tail out of my group then? Because you don't get to call what I talk about. And I realized in a moment, I stopped. For the first time in ages, practiced self-control and said, what could they possibly have gone through in their life to hurt them, that hurt them so bad that they don't want to hear God, that they don't want to hear church, that they don't want to hear about what Jesus did for them, that they don't want to hear how to maybe live a better life? What happened with them? And I took a moment, y'all, and my reaction was something totally different than I would have normally given. And it was simply, I'm so sorry that you're feeling this way. What I do is I share everything. I share my life. I share what I found out about myself. I share the good. I share the bad. I share everything in between. And by the way, I get beat up for that. One of the first to actually share in the Avon world, following on the hemline, my dear friend Lisa Wilbur, who used to go all around the country and share everything that she does in her business. Let me tell you, hi Jules. Let me tell you that I thought what she was doing was absolutely spot on. When you're doing something and it works, share with everybody. Share with everybody, because the more you share and people find out they can do it, there's enough for everybody. And when they're successful, the company's successful. When the company's successful, they do more for the representatives. And it goes on and on and on. But yet people were beating me up because I was wanting to share everything that I was doing because they thought it should just be held for your own team. No, I'm not sharing. No, I'm not coming on and sharing with you. I'm not doing it. These are secrets. We don't share. Well, good thing Jesus wanted to share his love. And when I think about people like Scott Kramer, who I'm sure he's not on here now, what if Scott Kramer had all this knowledge, but he just wanted to keep it for a certain group? He just wanted to keep it for certain people. That he didn't want to educate everybody, every company who would have him about social media. Let me tell you something, we would not be doing as well as we're doing. But as you can see, the platform should be about giving. There shouldn't be any secrets, but yet I got beat up for that. I got beat up for sharing about Jesus. Why? Because not everybody's going to take hold of what you do. But end of story is, That's what I have always felt led to do. That is my mojo. My mojo is to love people and not, what if I just decided I'm gonna love my family? That's all I'm gonna love. I'm gonna love my family. I'm only gonna love my family. And they're, by the way, some of them are the hardest to love anyways. But I'm only gonna love my family. That's it. And I'm not gonna share love with nobody else. I'm not gonna share nothing else ever. Do you know who suffers in that? Me. Do you know what a blessing that through the hard times, the good times, the up here times, the times that like they only come once in a while, and the very lowest of times in my life, that because of the sharing that I had given, that I never, ever, ever felt alone. There were always people there. So, and the story is, yeah, I could come and come at people. And by the way, I saw this with people like, let me be clear, our AEs with Avon, um, Scott Kramer, do you know how many times I would be on his lives? And these people would come because what? Because they couldn't, because they were probably frustrated, because maybe they don't learn as quick as other people. There's nothing wrong with that. But he would have these lives with his team, and people would come on there, and I'm watching the comments, and they're like, this doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. This has never worked for me. And I'm thinking to myself, dang, he probably gets hit by this by every single company. But you know what? And look, and I know what a great person Scott Kramer and his people are. But I know that Scott Kramer probably has to practice self-control too, because in the business he's in, he knows there's going to be frustration. He knows there are going to be people who are not going to get it as quickly as other people. And how the things that I have learned that I've probably never told people like that, or my AEs, or I will tell you, Mr. Steve Bosson, that I learned that I'm like, oh my gosh, how do they not just, I would want to. And they have taught me that what they bring to the table when they take a breath, when they practice this self-control, that, you know what, it's not really God give me self-control, it's that the self-control can be there. God has said it's there, but will you make a choice to practice the self-control? Because we have control of all these. Oh, Scott's still on here. Hey, he says daily, but that is also the great reward in helping people. Absolutely, absolutely. These are the things we learned. These are the things that we do. But let me tell you something. If they came at these people and they said, look here, maybe you just ain't smart enough. Do you think he's going to keep an audience that way? And you know what? His intelligence is so above a lot of people because he knows people are going to learn at different levels. Babies walk at different times. Babies talk at different times. People learn math at different things. Oh my goodness, y'all. Let me just tell you that you've got to quit thinking that people say something to you and it's their fault that you react. It's their fault that you cut them off. It's your fault that you did this. No. That's just you reacting. That is you reacting when you decide to make these decisions or lash out at people. Let's move on. When I react by yelling or flying off the handle or making some snappy, witty comeback, I basically transfer my power to that other person. Think about it. Think about it. The moment that you let anger, the moment you let frustration, the moment you give away that self-control, you have given control to that other person. Somebody doesn't want something to do with me. You know what? Hey, look, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's all good. But this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm going to love you despite of it. See, I think they get madder when I say that. I still love you even though you've found a reason to be angry with me. Because I don't really believe the anger is about me to start with. Hi, Fran. I don't think that the anger is really about me. It's about something else. But because I'm talking about it, they react. But I don't do any good reacting just as negative. I can't depend on them to practice the self control. I'm only responsible for me, y'all. So practice your self control. Don't give them that power. Don't transfer the power to them. When I don't have power and I've just given them all that negative comeback, you know what I've done? I've lost all my self-control. It seems that I'm going to remain if I'm going to remain self-controlled, then I have to keep my power. And if I'm going to keep my power so I can have self-control, then I have got to do things differently. I must. Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. I have got to react differently. I have got to stop. I know what you want to do, Molly. But is this going to be giving my power away just so I can have this witty comeback that everybody on social media will come back and go, oh my gosh, good one. And why is it that once that moment's over, I kind of feel bad about what I just did? Because what? So I could one up somebody? The one up game is not nearly as great as social media would like you to believe. Good morning, Patty. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Now, let me tell you something else too. Now, when I say like my power, I don't mean something that I'm conjuring up. Okay, it's not it myself. I believe that where the change has come with me is that I do believe that God is working through me. And I know you all think that's probably crazy, but I'm sorry. Since my surgery, since my cancer scare, since finding my way back to where I need to be, not necessarily back to church, not necessarily back to religion. Guys, I'm not a huge religion person. I am not, but I am a huge Jesus person because of what he did for me. I am a huge sharing of how I got through, and I know the people that God placed in my life during this awful time of going through a cancer scare, which was cancer, a surgery I had to wait months for, and a massive bill that was staring me in the face. Oh, it just, and to see all of that be worked out in his time, it will change your life. And what I'm telling you is there are many people that know it didn't happen to them, but watching it happen to me, huh? I've had people say, by the way, people closest to me, my sons, have both said to me, Mom, watching what happened during that time, as scared as we were that we could lose our mom, it changed our life watching how God used other people, how he made it all come together. It doesn't get any stronger than that. So here I am. I don't want to feel powerless. I want to keep my power, and God says it's up to you to practice self-control. He ain't going to come in and go, okay, let me wave my magic wand now, Molly. Here I come. And from here on out, because you practice self-control, you'll never react bad again. No, it's a choice. And let me tell you something, watch what you pray for, because if you're going to say, God, please give me self-control, let me tell you, the only way you're ever going to know if you have self-control is to go through things where you are absolutely going to have self-control. So it's just not like, okay, God, help me with self-control. I don't want any of those problems again. No, that don't happen. We're living life. We're breathing, right? But what will happen is the next instance is going to come up. And are you going to practice the self-control? Are you going to do what God says that you can do? Are you going to take the choices he's given you? And are you going to pick the right choice? Because the only way to get better at anything is to be consistent. And when you fall down and you don't do the right thing, the only thing you can do is apologize and get back up and go after it again. Wow, this sounds like business, doesn't it? This sounds like, how do you have a successful business? What do you do when things go wrong that are out of your control? You stay consistent, you stay in control, and you just keep going. You just keep getting back up. Isaiah 55:10 and 11, which we read in the beginning, is such a good reminder of how you can tap into God's power no matter what the situation is. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud, making it flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater. See, it's all a chain reaction. So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. Did you catch that? The answer is keeping God's power with me and working in me to produce self control. It's letting what I know God wants for me, it's letting it get inside me. It's letting that gnawing gut, that Holy Spirit saying, "Girl, you won't react that way now. Come on, you can be better than this. Don't do it. Don't let it slip out your mouth. Don't go do that thing to one up. You have the power." Here's my new tactic. When I'm facing a situation where someone is aggravating me, irritating me, twicking my last nerve, I have to start thinking about what God's word says. And in 1 Peter 5:6-8, for example, it says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your cares, all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." He don't want you to get it right. He wants to put those challenges in front of you to make you react, and it will be your choice. You have a choice as to, will you react with self-control, or will you be a crazy person, for lack of better words? In this moment, I'm choosing to be self-controlled and alert. Your actions are begging me to yell and lose control. Have you ever like, when somebody's angry with you, they do stuff, they are begging you to come at them. Have you ever had that argument where you know they coming at you? Hi, Rosie. They coming at you. They actually, it's like they're looking for a fight. They're looking for an argument, right? Oh my goodness. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing this. I am going to be more godlike. That's right. I'm going to. It's who I am. I am a child of God. That's who I am. And God wouldn't do that. So I'm going to humbly and quietly let God have his way with me. And when I do this, I will get a peace. I will get a peace. I believe that when God knows what you're looking for in that moment and you're seeking him out for that, I believe that he's there, just like the lady I told you about who was coming at me in my own group to say, whoa, 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 Molly, there's a different way. Don't yell at her. Don't do that old thing. Be better. I've set examples in front of you, Molly. I've set people in your life in front of you who show you how to deal with things like this. I know what you want to do, but what you want to do is not always the best thing to do. So, Molly, take a step back and ask yourself, what would Jesus do? Yeah. So now it's kind of like, you take a few minutes, give yourself a moment, and then you can either calmly talk about it, you can calmly respond. And do I always get that right, y'all? I don't think I'm ever going to always get it right. So if you think you are, show yourself some grace. As I said, when you fall down, you get back up. You get back up. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. Because do you realize that when you don't come at somebody, when you don't do the reaction, do you know that can be your superpower? Like you whoosh. It's like plugging yourself in that when you know you did the right thing and you won't doing the worldly thing and you weren't trying to one up like everybody does and you're not being a keyboard bully and you're not letting your feelings get all hurt because you know these people don't know what they're talking about anyways. Stop being that person and just be better and take your power back and be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not reacting like everybody else. I know you've hurt me. I know what you're trying to draw out of me. I know that you want me to show this bad side because you know what? Everybody's watching. It's social media. Everybody's watching in your family. Everybody's watching how you're handling it. So they want you to do the thing that you shouldn't do. Don't be that person. Be the exception to the rule. And listen to me. You will be in the lower number of people. When you practice the self-control, when you do what you should do, what you know is better, what is God-like, what Jesus would do, when you respond the correct way and not how the world would like to see because they're trying to spread the drama around, you know what? When you do that, you are going to be in the minority when you don't do that, but you are going to be one of the minority who keeps the power that God gave you the choice to say, do you want to keep your power? Do you want to be more powerful? Do you want to be better? Do you want to be in the minority? Because the minority are going to be the ones who are the most powerful because we are going to be the witness. We are going to show people how we can handle this. We are going to show people what we do. And sometimes that means loving people from over there. Oh, but you don't understand, Molly. They're my family. They've been my best friends for years. They've been this, they've been that. I swear these people bring out the absolute worst to me, though. Then do yourself a favor. Take your power back. Love them. Quit putting yourself in that situation all the time and love them from over there. Learn where your boundaries need to be and be part of the minority instead of the majority. People talk about in business how they just want to get to the top. They want to be in the top 100. They want to be this. Let me tell you something. Do you know why there's such a small minority of people at the top? Because of what it takes to be there. Because of what it takes to get there. And that means consistency. That means doing what you want to do even when you feel like you don't want to do it, you all. You know what I mean? It means, I don't want to get up and do this today. I don't want to be the better person, Molly. I want to lash out. I want to hand her tail on a platter. That's what I want to do, Molly. Well, that's what the majority is doing. Yeah. So that leaves you in the same boat with everybody else, that boat that's sinking. Be in the boat with the minority of people who want to do the right thing, not the popular thing, y'all. The popular thing is not where it always is. Most of the time, it's where it's not. And take your power back so that when you look back, when you're telling your kids about the moment, when you're sharing it with your grandkids, when you're sharing your story on stage, when you're letting people know who you really are and the struggle it took to get you there, you can say, oh, I made mistakes. Oh, I fell down. Oh, I wasn't always that person with self-control. But most of the time, I learned that's who I wanted to be. And I'm so happy I did. It's up to you. I can talk about it all day long. But what will you do? Here I'm reading this. It says, when you take your power back, it will make you shine with so much self-control. Your kids, your friends, your loved ones, and your coworkers won't know what to do with you. Do you know that's what's happening with me in so many different phases of my life right now? Friends, family, people I work with, businesses, people I deal with in the public, they know, even in door dashing, people like, oh, you're so different from the other dashers that I get. And I'm like, yeah, well, the majority sounds like it's not too good. Why? Because I am cordial to people. I am courteous to people. I want to bring joy in their life. I want them to be happy they use this service. I want them to want to use it again. And then when you react differently, people are like, what's going on? Has an alien taken over your body? I just want to know. You're not reacting how you normally will, because what I was doing, reacting like everybody else, was getting me nowhere except throwing me in this boat that was sinking with all this negativity and all this discouragement and all this putting people down and all this yelling and screaming and discord and everybody wanting it their way. That is not a place I want to be. Now, if you choose to be there, hey, I'm not going to judge you. Go ahead. But I'm going to be over here sipping on wine, chilling, trying to be my best self, even when people are trying to slam me with their negativity, with their talk, with their discouragement, with their, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve that, who do you think you are? Oh my goodness, gosh, I get hit with it all the time. And you know what's really funny? They don't ever hit you with it to your face. No, they always do it in private. They always do it when you think you're not going to see it. They always do it when they feel powerful, but never in front of you. You see what I'm saying? But don't be the same person who then comes at somebody in social media behind a keyboard. That is cowardly. And that is drama. And that's what the Real Housewives do. And let me be honest. I love the Real Housewives. I love to watch the drama. I don't want to be part of the drama. You know what I'm saying? Not fun. Not fun. And by the way, always remember, that's a TV show. Just stop it. It's not all real. I don't care what nobody says. Not all real. It's just not. So stop it. You ain't got to be like those people. So this is what I'm going to tell you. This statement was just taken from one little set of verses found in First Peter. But you can imagine what might happen if we wrote out powerful responses using God's words on a card. I want to be different. I want to be better. And I'm okay with being in the minority. Self-control. Do what's good for you. Do what's best. But don't complain about what's coming at you when all you're worried about is stirring up more drama. When all you're worried about is the next thing that makes you lose control. Self-control. Choose it. Because he's not just going to give it. He's going to give you the opportunity to have self-control. But you must choose it. You're not going to ask God for something and then all of a sudden he just going to give it, right? He's no genie in a bottle. Quit thinking that. But when you want patience, do you know how you figure out whether you're developing patience? When you do better. When the trial comes and you do better. Will you? You want self-control? When the next test comes, will you pass? Or will you at least do better? Or will you fail miserably because you just worried about being the next social media bully? Not cool, y'all. Not cool. But I need you to know I'm praying for you and I love you no matter what you do. Some of you are pretty daggone hard to love. But I'm going to tell you, I'm working on it. And you should work on it. I hope this has been something for you today that's been helpful. Because it's all about life, y'all. It's all about life. It's all about how we choose to be. Life is a choice. Every little thing you do is a choice. And what you choose can make or break you. And even when you make the wrong choice, you can get back up. And you can do better if you choose it. Okay? So have a wonderful rest of your week. And for all my Avon peeps, I will see you tonight after my team Zoom. I will be in the Onward No Matter What group. We're going to talk about the new Avon destination trip. Woo! Yes, we are. And we are going to talk about the new incentives, and we are going to be reborn with excitement of all that's coming to us in fourth quarter. So I will see you guys this evening. I love you. Be better, choose better, and have a great week. Bye bye.